Oh, since right here. Okay.
Something nutty happened here, but leaving high ground is definitely a mistake.
Okay. So I'll tell you, even without watching this clip, I know the right answer. Okay. And I think I would have probably still won this game. Um. So you're now just sort of just deep pushing this wave, right? And
Yep.
then we know that the enemy team is pushing here, right? And then your immediate reaction was to just go there, right? Sort of after killing this, you're gonna go there, right? You're gonna go there, right?
Yeah.
Thing is, here's where we have to be a little bit realistic about the situation. I know that judging by the timer, they really don't want to buy back, right? Because they're coming back in 20 seconds, right? Rich
Hmm.
Doctor and Monkey King is coming back in 20 seconds. I mean, Grimstroke bought back, that's whatever, right? Because he's a deep pusher, so he wants to sort of just do that. But thing is, I know that for now, it's Wraith King plus Grimstroke. You guys have zero chance of defending this. Zero chance.
Hmm.
You guys gonna lose. If you go there, you lose. What happens
Oh
is,
yeah.
yeah, if you go there, you will die, he will die, and they will take this tower and they will take this Rex. But if you don't go there, you don't die, and they take this Rex. And if you are not here, then you can be here, right? Just pushing in,
Yeah, and if they go
pushing.
on me, I just blink out
Yeah,
because they don't have any
yeah,
AoE.
push, push, push. And as you are pushing this, I have to pay attention to the TP timer, right? I have to TP timer, and I have to save my blink dagger because if they are going for the throne, then I want to know if I have a glyph or not, right? If I have a glyph or not,
Hmm.
and I want to know if I can get back there in time. So I would be paying attention to my TP scroll, I'll be paying attention to my blink dagger, and but slowly, I don't want to be here. I want to be here, right? Because there's nothing to be done here. They're gonna take this. So all I'm saying here is give up this middle Rex. And here's actually how I believe I broke into 6K MMR by just playing support only. Because if I was a support, I'll be telling my team to just give up this tower and just hug Fountain if that's what it takes. Just don't let them go throne. If they're gonna go
Hmm.
for the double racks, that's actually the best thing that can happen to us. If they go for the triple racks, which I don't think is possible judging by the timer, but then we would have more incentive to fight. But I don't want them to go throne right now. I'm willing to give up one racks. I'm very, very willing to give up one racks. It means nothing. Because you have a radiance, you have the pushing power. Losing the middle racks when they don't even have one, it just changes almost. It changes something, but it's not as big. So I would have given this up, push this, and maybe even go for here. Maybe farm this little bit, maybe eat the bounty run. And as I'm farming that, I'll be constantly checking them, like checking them what they do, right? And then if they go for the
Hmm.
top now, then I don't even go back because I cannot. I'll wait for my TP because I'm willing to give up two racks to actually survive. But while doing that, I'll be farming everything, right? And that just gives me time. That just gives me gold to get the next item, to get more levels, to save for the buyback, like more levels. So I don't know. The game is still not over yet at this point. It's too early to give up. So that's what I would believe even 6K and 7 players will do. They sometimes don't, but they sometimes do. So this is a hard decision, but it's what you should be doing. You should be here, killing this.
Hmm.
100% this is the right answer. So give this up. But let's see what you did. You were just, again, this is
Oh
autopilot
yeah.
thing, right? I just
Oh
go
yeah,
ham,
it
right?
was absolutely
Yeah,
nutty. Only first of all, stunning a anti mage is silly.
yeah.
No, I should have blinked out.
So
Another thing,
even
I got
yeah,
blinked. Oh, I had an Aegis.
even here this was fine. Even here this is fine. But now this guy has double kill, and then this guy don't have even buyback. Now we are in trouble, right? So this was the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine you weren't here, okay? That's what we're gonna do. Imagine you didn't join this fight. Imagine you didn't join this fight. Then then he's not gonna do this, okay? The only one of the reasons that Grimstroke is doing this is because he sees you. He sees you
Hmm.
that you're coming toward him. So like you're giving him incentive to do this. But again, the fight is still 4 versus 2. Like no way this is happening. 4 versus 2, and you just gave him the incentive to do this. That's how I
Hmm.
want you to see the situation, because it really is, right? Um,
Hmm.
if you were giving him like 10% incentive to do this, then blame yourself. Because trust me, that's how we get better at Dota. Because if you are not here, I don't think Grimstroke will do this. If Grimstroke saw you that you were here, then he'll be just hanging around here waiting for his teammates or just passively casting the Stroke of Fate to a little bit of deep push. But he doesn't do this. He doesn't fully commit. His ultimate would be still be off cooldown. So you showed up, and then now you want to do this, of course, and it gets reflected, and now things get fucked up. So this is like the beginning of the end, right? And you die here, and they die here, and he buys back, and Witch Doctor, this is the last thing that Witch Doctor wants to do, right? He buys back when the timer was like 20 seconds, right? Like, I don't know. So
Yeah, that's
yeah,
so pretty much.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So,
my fault.
and to be honest, I would have done the same thing if I was playing Witch Doctor, saying that my carry is going ham, and he just got stuck, right? This is where the game is end. This is where like we just have to follow his carry. We just have to follow my carry, and then we just go ham. You went ham, and I'm pushing 5 support. Of course I go ham. I want to help you guys, right? So he bowed back. So literally, you gave them incentive to do this. This is exactly how I wanted to see it. So, and now you guys gonna lose the game. So I know that I'm being harsh on you, but you have to be harsh on yourself when you're watching the
That's
replay.
justified. That's justified.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that was nuts.
yeah, and then the game is over, right? The game is just over. So you
Yeah,
guys
at
lost 2
this point,
supports.
yeah, there's pretty much nothing I could have done.
Yeah. So
We might continue watching. Maybe there's anything interesting.
yeah. So all I'm saying here is sometimes it is the right thing to just do nothing about it, right? Just do nothing about it, and even monkeying about back. So I'm not happy about all this situation. Like, of course you guys saved us, but like he died. He even used the buyback, and like just it's the enemy team. The time is now on the enemy team. They can really control the tempo of this game. Like, they lost the middle racks. That's whatever. And teammates has a Battle Fury. It really isn't a big deal to them. So, I'm gonna keep watching, but that was a big moment. And now the enemy team knows that your supports don't have buyback, right? Which means if they win one team fight, then that's the game over, 100%, right? So
So by the way, here's actually one decision I think I should have done better is I don't think getting an Abyssal here as a replacement for Blade Mill was justified because it left me without buyback, and this is kind of a situation where I find myself often is that I was like, oh yeah, I'm like a carry, I need some big dick item, but then I don't have enough item for a buyback. So when would you say as as a carry or even as a support should you start saving up for seriously considering delaying your major item because you want to save for buyback? Because that's like a decision that I think about every day, and I feel like this the most misjudged decision that I always make.
yeah, you're asking a really good question. It's really hard to answer that because if I have to jump up to the conclusion, here's what I'm gonna say: you can do whatever. Sometimes saving for the buyback is the right answer. Sometimes getting this big item to actually win the fight is the right answer. You just have to prove yourself, right? You just making the right play. So it's really hard answer. It's really hard to answer because there really is no right answer. But I feel like if you are saving the blade mail to get a Abyssal Blade, I think it makes sense. I really do think it makes sense because from here it's all about just winning that one team fight, right? If you guys kill anti-mage, right? Let's say you guys smoked up and then you guys were able to kill anti-mage because you initiated with the Abyssal Blade, followed that up by your blast, another stun, and followed by Monkey King stun, and then followed by Witch Doctor stun, and then followed by Pangos ultimate, and then followed by Disco Silence. If you guys kill anti-mage and he doesn't have buyback, then you guys can go throne right away, right? So that should be your mindset, and I absolutely agree with selling the blade mail and buying the Abyssal Blade because it really makes sense. Like saving for the buyback, of course that's cool, but I feel like if I want to win this game, so I feel like buyback is like not to lose. Whereas if you go for the Abyssal Blade, it means that I'm a man. Like I'm gonna win this game by killing anti-mage. That's my logic, and to be honest, I can agree with it. That makes sense, a lot of sense. So I would have considered buying a smoke. I'm not sure if it is available or not. If your team had it, he had it, right? So you would have called for the smoke gank instead of just pushing in here.
Okay.
You guys should have called smoke. I mean, it's all about thinking different things that we could have done, right? I'm not sure if you guys smoked or not, but 100% I would have asked my ally to smoke up, and it's a perfect time to smoke. And if we kill anti-mage, then game's over. Saying if he has no buyback. So
Yeah. So Enigma feeds here like a dummy.
Okay. Okay, I guess the game is still not over. Still playable.
Yeah, so my memory is silly because I thought that the game was over the second I TP to base, but I guess it's not. Oh, AM goes to base.
Well, I guess we had to get back. I agree. Okay.
So I was like, so this,
Questionable.
what did you say?
I said questionable. I said
Oh yeah, because I was like, AM is gonna rat right now, right? And I was like, I need to constantly be pushing out lanes and then be ready to go to the base. So I need to be really mobile.
hmm.
So I need a reduction on my teleport score because I know that if AM can't win legit, he's just gonna rat.
So,
So
okay, I get your logic, but we should have checked that you're like 1,000 gold away from buyback, right?
well, yeah, that was
Mm.
silly. That was
And
the buyback question that I was asking you.
yeah,
So
so all I'm saying is like if you already have an Abyssal Blade and the buyback, then we have both, right? We have both options that
Mhm.
we wanted to have. But by just buying that Boots of Travel here, you just literally give up that option to have a buyback. Like from here,
Yeah.
you cannot have a buyback for a really long time, right? And then I don't know, I don't know. I mean, this is so valuable having that little bit of ammo and damage. It's not something that we can just easily give up. Like, you know what I'm
Uh-huh.
saying? Like, I get it that Boost of Travel is nice and all, but just why not just? I mean, we could just be smart about using our TP scroll, and then we cannot do both. Like, we cannot do both every time. Just a trade-off. Um, and I feel like this is a little bit of overreaction. It's like the same logic as we were getting MKB for Windranger, right? Like it was an
Yeah.
overreaction to me, to be honest. So
I guess that was like a hunch. I was like seeing AM rat the our tier thing. I was like, oh, pff, boom, let's get the Boots of Shell. But I think if I had like a 5 second to think about it, I was like, hold on here, buddy. Maybe a buyback would be better option.
maybe if I really wanted to sell the Facebooks to get really something else at this stage of the game, it can be anything. It can be AC or if you want to be if you I feel like I still feel Silver Edge is the right answer. Okay, I still think
Mhm.
Silver Edge is the sole right answer. Like, you can just break his passive. That is just so big. That's so big. You can break his passive. So um, I don't know. So another thing that I would say was I would say this was a bad decision. But you already know this,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah. I definitely it was definitely like AM ratting, boom, getting travels, but it definitely was.
yeah, so I don't know. What else can we do? We just see it and then we know that this was the wrong call. And
Yeah.
now that MK said, I think this is where the enemy team will go high ground, and then we cannot really defend it, right? Like we don't have.
Yeah, so because I baited my team to buy back, and I didn't have a buyback myself because of
Mm.
questionable boost of
Oh,
travel
damn.
shows.
You know what else could work here? It's Sun
Yeah,
Aghanim Scepter. If you really think about it,
uh, yeah,
yeah, Aghanim Scepter is something that really could have worked this game. Because if you look at their lineups, it's all about bursting something, right? The Enigma casts Black Hole and they want to kill something within before the Black Hole is over. They just want the fight to be over. Like Shackle
hmm
Shot and they want to finish right away. Anti-Mage blinks in, Abyssal, he wants to like win the fight right away. So in that aspect, if you had on Aghanim and Scepter, right, then it makes sense. Even if they kill you guys, your allies will come back and they fight for like what 7 seconds. That's enough to kill them back, right? And then
hmm
so even if they kill them, they will kill you back. You guys will kill them back, and then you'll still be alive because you have an ultimate. So I think I would imagine even getting an Aghanim Scepter instead of just Boots of Trouble, it makes sense, total sense. Um,
hmm
and because you have an Obsidian Blade, this is the item that just helps you to close a gap, right? So you just literally teleport to in front of them. So you don't need the movement speed anymore if you think about it. So I think
Yeah, pretty
Aghanim
much.
would have been something, at least something to be considered. So that's my opinion. But yeah, the game is over. There's nothing to say here. MK died,
Yeah,
and it was it.
yeah, but it wouldn't have been over if he had a buyback, but he
Hmm.
didn't have buyback because of me. And here I feel like an idiot, but it doesn't matter pretty much.
And then you die. Yeah, that was it. That was the over.
Yeah.
Alright, let's actually look at the scoreboard now and then try to see if there is anything left to talk about. We had a long coaching session. I think we talked a lot. I think we talked a lot about everything.
Yeah, but you had a lot to say, so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I guess the main mechanical drawback is to value information more because you really like pushed the informational aspect for me to make this into the kind of
Hmm.
because the reason why high pointed these decisions that I made, but the reasons why I made is because I tunneled out, and I wouldn't have tunneled out if I had the right information. Let's say about my Grimstroke having low mana, or my Monkey King having low like his ultimate on cooldown. But if I had made this kind of conscious decision to integrate into my muscle memory and ability to check in information about enemy items, about mana, about health, about cooldowns, it would be natural for me not to make these blunders like walking into a shackle shot or walking behind a crimson guarded tier 4 tower. So I guess
Yep.
the main drawback that I see in your like philosophy of Dota is like the Dota, in your opinion, is a game of information, and I'm just not gathering enough information to make very
Hmm.
justified decisions. Am I correct?
You're absolutely correct about everything. Yeah. You're really good, man. Like I really like your thinking process. Like you're
Yeah,
really
thanks.
just straight down, honest, and you're able to criticize yourself and admit it. You're really good. Like you're on the right track. So
Thanks, man.
to be honest, as long as you're not like tilting or anything, I don't know you. Like I don't know how well you're performing as Dota player. As long as you're not tilting or just going off the track, I have no doubt in my mind that you're just gonna climb up higher after this coaching session.